Hello, and welcome to my second live stream because I'm feeling lazy today and don't want to have to make a full video. Yep, that's the only reason why. Being 100% honest with you, I'm just being lazy today and I just want to make a live stream instead. So I did watch a movie, I have got notes, so no cheating. I watched The Omen from 1976. So, my nose. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, The Omen from 1976 is a British-American joint horror movie, basically about the Antichrist. So the film stars Joffrey Peck as well as David Warner and what's her name? Oh, it's gone. Then see, live stream always mess up. But the main character anyway is Richard Donner, played by Gregory Peck, and the story revolves around him and his family. So Richard Donner then is an American diplomat in Rome, and with his heavily pregnant wife, they are touring the country, and suddenly his wife goes into labor. Rushed to a local hospital, at first he is told that his child died in childbirth, although his wife hasn't been told, but he is quickly offered by the hospital chaplain to adopt a child whose parents seemingly died earlier that night. Reluctantly, he agrees, but keeps the secret from his wife. Several years later, then we wake up. Several years later, even brings us to London, where our main character is now living as a diplomat for the British Embassy, as part of the American diplomat for the British Embassy. Lots to go through. It is during his son's 5th birthday party that the first of many mysterious events starts to take place. God, I hate doing live streams. I always mess up. So the first event then is the nanny of the child, which they named Damien, by the way. So Damien's nanny decides to commit suicide unexpectedly during Damien's 5th birthday party. And of course, naturally, everyone is horrified by this and they think she's crazy, and no one suspects Damien of anything. However, the film slowly escalates from that point onwards, with more and more mysterious cases happening. The most gruesome and brutal death in the film is probably David Warner's character, Keith Jennings, who does some private investigation into Damien's origin. He finds himself decapitated by a piece of sheet glass, but not the usual kind of decapitation that you'd expect. Horizontal decapitation, which is really unique and more visual, I find. Very terrifying, very interesting and shocking. I was very shocked to see it. Although, sadly, the head is obviously faked, but the actual kill is very shocking to behold. Definitely the most shocking in the movie. So towards the latter half of the movie then, Robert naturally is getting suspicious now that these connections all revolve around his son. So he decides to leave back to Rome to investigate further the origins of his adopted son, Damien. It is there that he learns that the chaplain who offered up Damien to him in the first place is part of a secret satanic cult, and that Damien is actually the Antichrist, the son of the devil. Shocked, of course, by this revelation, but not entirely believing it at first, Robert heads back to London to confront his son and to check for himself if he really is the Antichrist. Upon inspecting his head, he discovers 666, a birthmark in the back of his head. This, of course, confirming that Damien is, of course, the Antichrist, and so he then holds his son at knife point, drags him to his car, and drives him to a church, the only place Damien fears. Once inside the church, he is about to make the ultimate sacrifice and kill Damien before he is ultimately stopped. The film then is really unique. There's, as I said, there's some pretty interesting kills, pretty graphic kills in some places with, David Warner's being the standout kill. The acting is pretty good throughout. Robert Thorne's performance, Joffrey Peck's performance as Robert Thorne is really good. It's definitely one of the highlights in the movie. As well as the boy who plays Damien. He's really good as well. I forgot his name. The boy who plays Damien. Oh, what is it? Henry Spencer. That's it. Henry Spencer Stevens. Henry Spencer Stevens, then, who plays the young Damien, does a really good performance as a kid actor. Quite menacing in places. You generally feel terrified watching his performance as a child. Overall, then, this film is pretty good. Yeah, the kills are definitely the highlight in the movie. The story is fairly interesting for the most parts, although the story has been done better in other movies, such as Rosemary's Baby is probably a much better example, and also The Exorcist as well. But The Omen is still a pretty good little British-American horror movie, and definitely better than the remake they made later on. The cinematography is pretty unique as well throughout, very naturalistic and very 70s in style. You can definitely tell the era from this movie, from the way it's portrayed. There's lots of wide shots, lots of mood lighting, very noir in some parts, especially the sequences in Rome, where it's very moody, very rainy, very gothic. It's good to watch. The sound design as well is really good throughout. The musical score, it's just enough to add to the creepy factor, shall we say. So I guess the film is definitely worth your time. Again, sorry about this live stream format. I never know what to say, but just being lazy today. All right then, so final thoughts. Acting in this film is pretty good. 4 out of 5. The deaths, 5 out of 5, really, really good. So the effects will be 5 out of 5. The story, yeah, it's been done better in other movies. So average 3 out of 5 for me. Rosemary's Baby is a much better storyline. What else can I say? Cinematography, yeah, it's pretty average. Pretty standard for the time. 3 out of 5 as well. The sound design is the standout thing, really good. So that's going to give me a 4 out of 5. Overall, yeah, the original Omen's worth your time. Give it a watch if you want. It's an enjoyable movie. Okay, well, I've been going on for about 8 minutes, just kind of laboring to myself because I haven't really thought this through very well. Other than making notes, I hate doing live streams. Still getting used to the whole thing, but yeah, just a little lazy today. But thank you for watching if you did watch, and have a good night, I guess. See you later.